San Francisco, a Quinn Martin production. Starring Karl Malden. Also starring Michael Douglas. With guest stars Noah Beery, Sam Elliott, Lane Bradbury. Special guest star Jim Davis. Tonight's episode, The Hard Breed.
And here he comes, young Billy Davis from Dakota, Oklahoma, riding Nobody's Donut. Yeah, we right up, Billy boy. You're coming now. From Austin, Texas, the leader for the all-round championship this year, Ken Johnson on high tide. High tide. But it's coming out and looking up twisted. Cowboys, that's how he makes points in the W book. Here comes the score for Ken Johnson. It's a good one, 71 points. That should be enough to clinch the title for him.
Hello, everybody. Keith Jackson, ABC's Wide World of Sports from the Cow Palace in San Francisco, the Grand National Rodeo. Most of the top cowboys in America with some of the finest stock ever assembled, ready for a taste of the Old West. Working with us to keep us up to date on what's going on, Lex Conley, former champion cowboy himself, now manager of the Cow Palace. Lex, let's turn those cowboys loose.
All right, Keith, and the contest we're going to see right now is the bull riding.
Bull riding. Now, this is the one event every
Well, we gotta go.
I know.
Now tell me, how did a fashion designer get so hooked on the rodeo, huh?
My grandmother had a ranch in Wyoming. I spent my summers there.
Yeah, well, you're hanging out with the cowboys, huh?
Shh.
We'll pick a winner.
Well, I think you'd have to say that it's going to be one of the Johnson brothers.
Oh, it's down to the Johnson brothers.
It's down to the Johnson brothers. Who are the Johnson brothers?
And Roy was one of the real pioneers in the rodeo game. He came from Texas. The family goes way back to him as about Indian and things like that. But, you know, none of this really makes any difference. When you get on a bull, like this, here's Sonny Bray's score. 61 points on that one, and now ready to go on wheels.
Mo, if we lose that table, we don't get another one. They got a little thing called a waiting list, you know?
Just one more ride, okay?
I'm hungry. Oh, no. Oh, no.
This old boy's tough to fight and tough to hook, Clint. Watch him.
I hear he's already put in for a pinching. Gonna be like riding whipped cream, Clint.
Yeah, well, you better take another look, little brother. I hear that he's a real honker. Hey, Rosie, how about a kiss for luck?
Where'd you get that? That ain't a way to ride. Let me have it.
Well, how about you, Bo? Aren't you going to wish me luck?
You've lived this long without it.
Hey, Clint, you drawn a bad one. He's mean to fight.
You just do your job. I'll do mine.
Sure. Hey, Rosie, how come you're so pretty and you're hooked up with such an ugly, ornery, bow-legged cuss as this?
Let her buck.
Coming out, she's a smile, coming out.
get a doctor.
No need, Dad. He's dead.
God.
No. It's like riding your headstone every second.
Let's go.
You've seen it before, haven't you?
People dying, yeah.
I haven't. It's awful.
Well, it happened fast, and he was doing something he wanted to.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You all right? Bo? You all right? Yeah.
You know, this was Clint's from the first day in full. Turned him into the best calf horse in the circuit.
Nobody could ride him like Clint. Nobody will. Where's Ken?
He's, with Rosie.
Where you been, Marty? I've been looking for you.
What is it, Marty? Now, I just keep thinking if I could have got to that bull quicker, Clint, it wasn't your fault. I know that now. I've been over there in the arena kind of mulling over in my head what happened, and I found this.
I figured in all the excitement it must have got buried in the dirt there.
It's been cut clean nearly halfway. That's right, with a razor-sharp knife or something. That rope come off the bull that Clint was riding. Are you trying to tell me it was no accident? Ah, Roy, you know Clint was too good a hand to come off a bull like that or get caught with them hooves. Roy, I'm telling you, Clint was killed.
He's got 1 foot up on the dashboard. He's got 1 foot outside the window, and he's holding out. He turns over and he looks at me. He's... Oh, no.
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry. I apologize for busting in like this, Miss...
Oh, Marine, this is Lieutenant Michael Stone, Marine Mallory.
Marine. Oh, you're Mo.
Nice to meet you, Lieutenant. Or is it?
No. It could have been nicer. We got a special request. I'll fill you in on the way.
Well, why don't you take my car? And I'll try to call you later, okay?
Sorry, Marie. Pretty expensive for a cop, isn't it?
It was a very special occasion.
Yeah, she looks special. I'll bet Juan Marichal wishes he had your pitch.
Just wish I had his salary. Thank you very much. So fill me in.
Well, the way I hear it, we've got thousands of witnesses. A rodeo cowboy was riding a bull.
No, wait a minute. I saw that on television. But it was an accident unless you're going to book the bull.
Well, I guess you didn't see it all unless you saw the bull use a knife. You've got so many eyes on that girl, you can't see the television set. If somebody did cut this part way, could they count on the rest of it giving?
Yeah, they give without being cut sometimes. When them bulls start kicking, it's like hell with the lid off.
What would be the motive?
I don't care about why, just who.
We'll do our best.
We're outsiders here, Lieutenant, strangers. Aside from Clint being my son, he was a man. And no big city red tape can change that.
Mr. Johnson, if it was murder, we'll find out who did it.
If he finds the killer, he's going to hang him.
Yeah, he did lose a son. What did you get from the other cowboys?
Well, everybody says it was an accident that was bound to happen sooner or later.
How's that?
Because Clint used to hit it before each ride.
Booze, huh?
Booze, yeah, and pills. Pain pills. He had a bad leg. He never let it heal.
Well, then why did he keep riding?
Well, they're like that. Look, I met one of those guys over there. He used to ride with 2 broken wrists. If a cowboy can crawl, he'll ride.
Yeah, I guess they are a hard breed, all right. Say, how about the rope?
Well, each man usually handles his own, but with Clint, he had somebody else who helped him.
Who was that?
His brother.
Hello.
Howdy.
I'm Lieutenant Stone. This is Inspector Keller.
Hi.
Which one of you is Jensen?
Oh, that'd be me, Lieutenant.
Well, then you must be Bo Dobbs.
Yes, sir.
I know that you saw one of our officers before and told him what you saw, but I'd like to ask you a couple of questions myself, if you don't mind.
Anything we can do.
Thanks a lot. I hear that you two go way back.
More years than I'd care to mention. We were riding a circuit when there was nothing but dusty old towns.
Bo and me, we rode broncs together till our rumps turned into raw meat. That's when I turned to clowning. Bo handles the stock.
We've been saving up to buy us a little ranch. Fixing on going in together.
Well, how long have you known the Johnsons?
Well, Roy and Bo, they go way back. Before we even met, ain't it?
Roy's a good old boy. I sure hate to see him hurt this way.
Well, what about Clint and his brother? Were they as close as you two?
Oh, they were as fierce when it come to competition. But they respected one another. Roy wouldn't have it no other way.
Weren't they one two in the championships?
Hey, now, wait a minute. You ain't thinking that Ken cut that rope, are you?
Just trying to find a reason.
Well, if winning the championship was reason, the circuit would be lined with dead cowboys. They was loving brothers.
Didn't they ever disagree about anything? What was it about?
I expect they'll find out anyways.
Find out what?
You tell them, Bo.
It was Rosie.
Rosie?
Yes,
That's
sir.
Clint's wife.
Oh, she ain't no bad girl. It's just, well, she's pretty as a pair of pink slippers.
They fought over her?
Oh, they got into it a couple years ago. I still got me a split tooth from breaking it up. Of course, that's before Clint and Rosie were married. Before they were married, well, Rosie was Ken's girl.
Police want to talk to us?
Tomorrow. I told them the little widow was so broken up over the whole thing that she just couldn't talk.
I still don't buy anyone who set out to kill Clint.
Somebody shaved that rope. What do you think about that girl?
I don't know what to think about it.
Did you ever once, just once, care for him?
I loved him. Till he started slipping into a bottle every day in somebody else's bed every night.
What are you doing? You know how it was with him. What'd you want her to say?
Maybe Clint wasn't much of a husband to her. But he's still a son to me and a brother to you.
Just leave her be.
Well, she needs someone, Bo.
I know, but not you.
All right.
See what I mean? Come on, let's get. Unless you want something besides a cracked tooth.
Okay.
No, Rosie.
Where have you been all morning?
Well, I had to get my car.
It's after 9 o'clock. I went to pick you up at 7. You weren't home. Where does she live anyway, Monterey?
7 o'clock. I knew it. You know, I knew you were going to do that. That's why...
That's why you went to pick up your car last night.
Lieutenant, very good. Very, very good. You know, I think you got a future with this department.
You're cruising. I really mean it. You're cruising.
Listen, I've been cruising all morning. Rosie Johnson. She was born Roseland Commons in Odessa, Texas, 1944. Folks were dirt farmers, and she took off when she was 15. She's been with the rodeo ever since. She competed with the women on the circuit until she married Clint Johnson 2 years ago.
Where did you get that?
Well, those cowboys get up with the chickens, too, you know.
I guess they do. Is that all?
No. Her husband has an insurance policy. $50,000.
And she is the beneficiary?
The only one, yeah. So what'd you get, huh? Sitting here in the nice comfort of your warm office while I was out there watching where I stepped?
Well, I got in touch with the TV network who filmed the rodeo.
Good.
They said we could look at the tapes anytime we wanted to. I ran a make on Ken Johnson. He's got a record here someplace. Here it is.
Disturbing the peace, drunken, disorderly assault.
Nothing big, but there is a history of violence there.
Yeah, sounds like you just got it on too much after...
I got the autopsy report on Johnson's brother. The alcoholic content was 1.2%.
Okay, enough to be legally drunk.
And plenty out of control when you mix it with those painkillers he was taking.
That's a bad combination. He could have fallen off that bowl even if the rope wasn't cut.
Yeah?
What'd the lap say on that rope?
It was cut.
So what do you think?
I think for openers, we've got two people who might have wanted to see him dead. First, his wife for the insurance, and then his brother for his wife.
Now, that's just like old times. I make it 15-9. You shave that just a little and you'll be sitting in for the state finals.
Morning. Mrs. Johnson?
Yes, sir?
Out there's Lieutenant Stone. He's the man trying to find out what happened to Clint. Well, I better walk this horse out. I'll see you, Lieutenant.
Hey, that was quite a workout.
But not exactly the grieving widow.
No, I didn't say that. Everybody has to sort of work that out for themselves.
You do know about the insurance money.
Yes, I do.
$50,000. Give me a good reason to want to see Clint dead, wouldn't it?
Maybe you'd like to tell me how you feel about that.
Just like I grew wings.
Are you planning on doing any flying?
You're not very subtle, Lieutenant.
That's how Ken Johnson goes from rodeo to rodeo, isn't it? Flies his own plane?
Who told you about Ken and me?
Well, it seems to be common knowledge.
Then it also must be common knowledge that we broke up a long time ago.
I heard that, too.
But you don't want to believe it, do you? You want to believe the worst. You want to believe that maybe Ken and I tried to do something to get back together again, huh?
Well, somebody cut that rope, and I'm just trying to find out who had a reason. I think you'd be interested in that, too. Unless you know already.
You gonna arrest me?
No.
Then I reckon you don't do things any different here than we do back home. I mean, it's still the United States. You're innocent until you're proved guilty, right?
That's right.
Then how come I get the feeling you're trying to make me prove I'm innocent?
I'm sure I don't know. Unless you're feeling something else, too.
Like what?
Guilt.
Fantastic. So this is getting to be the going thing, huh?
You can make more rodeos, build up more points.
How'd your brother travel?
Same way my dad did, pickup truck. Oh, man thinks a cowboy ought to travel with his stock. Live with him. Get to know him. Rather than shipping them around and meet some fancy schedule.
Sounds like they were close.
They were. Fact is, Clint tried to mirror Dad. One of his problems.
Yeah, that could be tough. I understand your father was world champion.
Yeah.
Well, didn't seem to bother you at all.
I wasn't under that kind of pressure. Sent me to college instead. I didn't take. Now he just figures me for an educated failure, no matter what I win. Sometimes we get along pretty good. Other times it's like two bulls butting heads.
But you and your brother were close.
Closest two brothers can be. We were friends.
Rosie. Now, I know she was your girl one time. Did that ever cause any friction between you and your brother?
Some at first. Rosie knew a lot of guys before either one of us. Clinton knew that.
Did it bother Clinton? Look, Ken, the autopsy report showed your brother was loaded on juice and pills. Now, you just told me your brother had a problem living up to your father. Do you have a problem with Rosie?
That's none of your business.
Your brother was murdered.
Well, that's what you say. I say it was an accident.
So we tied a bell on that old bull's neck and told Charlie that he was riding a milk cow. He was so drunk, he didn't even know the difference. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reverse it next time. I'd give a lot of money to see Charlie try to milk a bull. Rosie, lay off that stuff, will you?
How come?
I want to talk to you.
About what?
Well, you know that spread that Bo and me always talking about getting? We found her.
Where is it?
Well, it's in Montana, just a few miles out of Ennis. It's got a pretty little creek runs through the middle of it, and a good place for horses.
That's terrific, Marty. I'm really happy for you.
Rosie, what you gonna do with no one to look out for you, huh?
$50,000 look up to me just fine.
It won't last. Only people last. On that spread that Bo and me's gonna get, there's a place for you. You think on it, will you? You can't keep just drifting along the circuit like this.
Thanks, Marty, but I'll be just fine.
Hey, Ken, been wanting to catch up with you. We're still ready with one sweet offer for you wearing our shirts next season.
Later, huh? Rosie? Come on.
I was just looking after Ken.
She's still at Johnson, Marty. I reckon that makes her our lookout.
Hey, Marty. Oh, Bo. I didn't even know you was here. Sit down.
Come here. You and me gotta have us a talk, Marty.
Yeah, what about?
Well, about old Clint.
About who cut that rope? Let me ask you something. You ever seen this toad sticker before?
No, I ain't never seen it before.
Don't start running me around in circles, Marty.
Oh, yeah, I recognize it. Now, that's Ken's knife. That's the one old Roy brought him from Mexico, ain't it?
That's right. You want to know where I found it?
Bo.
Maybe you already know where I found it. Huh, Marty?
Where you going, Bo?
I'm gonna go tell Roy what happened.
There ain't no call for that.
I'll tell you what there ain't no call for, Marty. There ain't no call for no little pink pretty like Rosie to go around messing up other people's lives. I seen you sitting here with her. And I seen them two sashaying out of here together, and I know what's going on. And Roy's gonna know the truth, Marty. And this knife tells it all.
Supposed to be clowning? I got my leg bunged up a little during the bareback. Billy's filling in for me. All right now? Oh, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Buy your drink? Well, I don't mind if I do. That ain't why I come in here, though. I wanted to show you before I show the police. Bo found that in the sawdust back of the chutes. Kind of a foreign-looking deal, ain't it? Yeah. Look close, Roy. Ain't them rope hairs on the blade? Why are you giving this to me? Well, that ain't no store-bought knife. I never seen one like it before, and I figured maybe if you could put a face to it. Well, I know how you're trying to find the cutter. You did right. Buy this man a drink.
I was down. He was just trying to cheer me up. I don't see anything so wrong in that.
What you see doesn't matter right now, Rosie. It's what other people are looking for, and they're looking to make you answer for Clint's death.
Well, I didn't what he did. I didn't. Clint was the closest thing I ever came to love. I thought once I had him, I wouldn't need anything else. And then everything went sour on us. I don't know what happened. I did what he did. I did.
Ed, you got a minute?
Yeah, sure, Dad. Go on, I'll talk to you later. What you just saw there, don't go making anything of it.
Want a car bit you? Lend me that jackknife of yours.
I haven't got it.
I'm talking about the one I gave you. One I picked up in Mexico.
I know what you're talking about. I haven't got it.
Where is it?
Just disappeared. Lost it, I guess.
Well, where did you lose it?
I don't know.
Chutes, maybe? That's where Bo found it. See them hairs? I'm betting they come from Clint's rope.
You know what you're saying?
I know.
He was my brother. Why would I want to kill him?
Well, you wanted his own, that's why. And what I just seen, you got her.
Oh, come on. No, you... You going to the police?
Nope. This is a family doing.
I'm not going to fight you. Said I'm not going to fight you.
Don't you let me being your father stand in your way. Because I don't consider you my son. You take that damn tin plane of yours and fly it straight in the devil's eyeball. I don't want to ever lay eyes on you again. You hear? Now get!
Hey, I got something.
Yeah, what?
Did a rundown on all the cowboys by the chute last night. We got a new suspect.
Yeah, who?
Bo Dobbs.
Dobbs? How come... Homicide, stone. What's that again? When? All right, we'll get right on it.
What's that?
You were going to tell me something about Dobbs.
Yeah. He had a son on the circuit 2 years ago. He was in a bulldogging event and he caught a horn through his leg because his partner was negligent.
And his partner was Clint Johnson.
That's right, and Bo Dobbs swears to this day that Clint was loaded.
But why does that put Dobbs on our list?
Because the kid's crippled for life. I give you a whole new wrinkle, you say to me,
The phone call came from the Cow Palace. Bo Dobbs is dead. found him?
I did. He was just lying out there in the corral.
Trampled?
Oh, no. Bo been around too long. He had too much savvy for anything like that.
Steve, comb the area, see what you come up with.
Right.
Well, Bernie, my friend, what have you got?
I won't know for sure till we get him downtown, but it looks like it was just a blow to the back of the head by a blunt instrument of some kind. Nothing like a hoof print or a horn.
When did it happen?
I'd say less than an hour ago.
Let me know for sure, will you?
Right.
Mike?
Yeah.
Looks like part of a shirt.
Anybody recognize this?
Was Bo murdered?
Well, looks that way, Mr. Jensen. You know anybody wearing a shirt like that?
Bo was one of ours. We'll handle it.
Yeah, we'll handle it.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Hold it right there. I want no vigilante homespun law here. Now, is that clear? Or do I have to make it plainer? Dobbs was killed on my beat, and I want that man just as bad as you do. Now, let me start again. Does anybody recognize this shirt?
Mr. Jensen?
Ken Johnson was wearing a shirt like that.
Who?
Ken Johnson. He was wearing a shirt like that.
Ken was wearing a shirt like this, all right.
Mr. Johnson, your son has disappeared. Now, do you have any idea where we can find him?
Now, if you think this is just a family matter, you're wrong.
Before I tell you, I'm going to have a say. I run Ken off because I figured he killed Clint.
Well, don't you think that's for the police to decide?
When it comes to Ken, it's still family. But he wouldn't have killed Bo. Put to it, a breed like Ken might kill a man for a woman. A lot of good men been done in by a shiny little thing like Rosie. But when it comes to killing an old-timer like Bo, no. That's a notch or two below a wolf. And that ain't Ken.
Then I guess you'd better tell me why you think he killed Clint.
I lost one son, Lieutenant. Now you're asking me to lose the other.
I'm sorry.
Lieutenant?
Belongs to Ken. Found behind the chutes.
Those look like rope hairs.
You found it?
No, Bo did. I've had my say. You most likely can find Ken at the airport.
That's his plane.
Think you can stop him?
Let's give it a try.
Johnson, get down.
Oh, man, sick you on me?
Does this belong to you?
I didn't kill Clint.
Then why were you trying to take off?
My old man called it. We had a blowout.
He's clean.
Is this part of your shirt?
Looks like one I just threw away. Must have come off when he was tearing into me. Why? Where'd you get it?
Where'd you have this blowout?
I buy his trailer. Why?
Because it was found in the corral where Bo Dobbs was murdered. you didn't know a thing about Bo Dobbs?
No, sir.
Then how did you get those bruises?
I told you, my old man. Look, I never fought with Bo, just my old man. Ask him. Why would I want to kill Bo?
Because Bo found this knife and he gave it to your father. You thought your father wouldn't talk. And you fixed it so that Dobbs couldn't.
Oh, come on, it didn't happen that way. I swear it didn't.
You went straight to the bar where you picked up your sister-in-law, and then you went right to your father's trailer.
That's right.
And after you fought with your father, you went to the airport with a man you didn't even know.
Oh, come on, I told you his name is Gardner. He's a salesman.
And he wanted you to endorse some shirts.
That's right. Look, I've been trying to brush him off, but he tagged along when me and Rosie left the bar. And then he cornered me again when I left my dad. You can check it out.
We are. When did you see this knife again?
Oh, I told you I don't remember exactly. This morning sometime. Did you get a hold of him? Did he tell you?
His name's John Gardner. He's a shirt representative with Western Sunset. He's staying at the Bayshore Motel, and he tells it just like Ken. Even down to the airport gate he dropped him off at. He's willing to sign a statement, anything.
I told you I didn't do it. What's he doing here?
I asked him to come. He said you couldn't have done it too.
It's plain you didn't buy his word.
It's not his word I'm questioning. It's yours.
I hear you were fixing to take off.
You did kind of put the wind in my back.
How's it look?
Well, it looks as though he's clear as far as Dobbs is concerned.
But you still think I killed Clint?
I think two people had good reason to cut that rope.
Ken and Rosie?
That's right. And I don't figure it was Rosie.
Why not?
Because cutting that rope wouldn't guarantee that her husband would die.
But I might have, just to win that championship.
Did you?
No!
But you did help your brother cinch that rope around the bull.
Tell you what, Lieutenant. The way Clint was hitting the booze and the pills, I didn't need to cut this to beat him. He was beating himself.
But he must have thought you did when he brought this knife to your father.
Bo didn't bring me the knife. Marty did.
Wait a minute. Jensen brought you that knife?
Yeah.
And he said Dobbs found it?
That's right. Said he found it behind the bull chutes.
Can we run that network tape?
Yeah, sure. Why?
I want to see something. Excuse me.
Here.
All right, could you hold it right there, please? Look at that.
What?
Mr. Johnson, what is the first thing a clown's supposed to do when a rider goes down?
They start waving off the bull.
Then that's what Jensen should be doing, is that right?
Marty's getting on a bit now. Works a barrel mostly. Doesn't take chances like the rest of the boys.
But he's not taking any chances at all. He's just standing there. He could have done something, couldn't he?
Well, I guess he could.
All right, let me put it another way. He's done everything right since then, hasn't he?
Steve, get it out, will you?
I don't know, Mike. I'm just trying to put the pieces together. And I remember Mo telling me the clown's supposed to keep the bull away from the rider when he's down. I sort of half remember seeing this one clown just standing there. It was Jensen. And Jensen found the rope. Jensen brought us a knife. He found Dobbs. And he could have seen Ken and his father fighting, find that piece of shirt.
He could have planted it by Dobbs, too.
Yeah. Don't ask me why. I haven't found the motive. But Jensen was the guy that got us thinking about Ken and Rosie in the first place, you remember?
Yeah, the fight. The split tooth.
Mr. Johnson, did Ken and Clint really have that fight?
Yeah, they sure did. That girl's bad news clean through.
But Jensen doesn't see it that way, does he?
What?
No, he thinks she's kind of special, right?
Marty?
Sure. He was with Rosie when you went to see her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ken said he was with her at the tavern? And do you remember how he defended her when we asked about Ken and Clint fighting over her?
Yeah. I sure do. Pretty as a pair of pink slippers.
Get up there.
Rosie! Rosie, what are you doing?
I'm getting out of here.
Well, you can't pull up stakes and go just like that.
I got to. Can't say. I stick around here, I'll mess him up same way I did Clint.
Well, hold on a spell. I'll get me that spread up in Montana. You could go there.
That's sweet, Marty, but I'm probably just going back to Texas.
No. You ain't running out on me now. It's gonna be special for us. Not like it was with Clint and maybe Ken. It's you and me.
That's the way I always planned.
You know, the more I think about it, the more I think you could be right. Old Marty was always around, paying Rosie special attention. With Clint dead, Ken in jail, he could figure he might have a chance.
Yeah, he could have killed Clint and framed Ken.
The more I think about it, I think I was wrong.
Why is that?
Because Jensen wasn't around the chutes long enough to cut that rope, was he?
Well, not really.
Maybe he didn't cut the rope.
What do you say? The lab said it was.
They didn't say when. Only Jensen said that.
That's right.
Now, wait a minute. You're losing me.
Remember when I asked you about the rope and you said sometimes it broke without being cut?
Yeah?
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe it just broke.
You mean it could have been an accident?
An accident that Jensen made look like murder by cutting the rope afterwards.
To frame Ken.
And getting Rosie for himself.
It's possible. Let's turn up here.
I ain't never stopped thinking about you, Rosie, not since Fort Worth.
Marty.
I know you ain't never said nothing about it since, but well, you think about it too, don't you?
Marty, Clint and I had a fight that night. I was at loose ends and I had too much to drink.
That night meant everything to me, everything. You don't know what it's like following the rodeos around all by yourself, traveling on the road, and, well, after a while, a fella gets wondering what's going to happen to him when he gets old and got nobody. Well, that night gave me something to aim for.
Marty, we've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of laughs. You always could make me laugh, but that's it.
I ain't talking about laughs, so I'm talking about what we had that night.
We had one night. That was it.
Oh, we had more, much more. And we're going to have us a ranch, too. You and me.
I'm not going away with you.
Still don't understand, do you? You don't have to think of Clint and Ken. I fixed them.
What have you done?
Oh, nothing bad, except for Bo. He didn't understand, and he wouldn't let us be together.
Oh, my God, you killed them. You killed them both.
Didn't kill him. It was the booze Clint was taking. The booze and all them pills, that's what killed him. When the rope broke and he got tossed in the dirt, it was just like it happened for you and me. We both wanted him dead. You as much as me, I know that. It was easy for me. All I had to do was just hold back a couple of seconds. I knowed he was so full of booze he couldn't scramble away from the bull. And then I seen how easy it'd be to fix it so that Ken was gone, too. But Bo, he seen me take Ken's knife, and he knowed how I felt about you. He figured out what I'd done. He was going to tell Roy about it, and I couldn't have that.
That's crazy. You are crazy.
Don't you call me that.
Get your hands off me, you old fool.
Don't you see I love you like I don't love nothing else?
Don't you touch me.
Roy.
Hold it, Marty. Just hold it.
Roy, Clint, he make it?
Did I get there in time?
Yes, Marty, you did fine, just fine.
Clint.
I guess everybody would like to buy back one moment in their lives. Maybe he was lucky enough to have his.
Just peeking from past experiences, seen my shadow many times on the ground.
Mr. Johnson!
Well, if it ain't the law dogs.
Last day, huh?
Yep, go from here to Denver.
Just came to say goodbye.
I wish you good luck.
Thanks. Thanks for getting me out of a tight one.
And where's Rosie?
She left this morning, back to Texas. She'll make out. Gotta go.
Right, I'm good.
Hey, don't forget what I told you. You be learning to fork up.
Biggest rule giver since Moses, isn't he?
Hey, popcorn.
I'll pay for it.
I got it.
No, let me.
I got it right
Please.
here. How much?
You paid last time. Let me.
25 too, here. Next time.
How much you pay for it?
2.
And now, on is shoot number 1 from Austin, Texas, is Kenny Johnson, rider with band. Yes, sir, riding like a true man. Joe Marston, Kenny boy, riding cowboy.
Of San Francisco, a Quinn Martin production. Starring Karl Malden. Also starring Michael Douglas. With guest stars Leslie Nielsen, Karen Carlson, Tom Troop. Special guest star, Dean Stockwell. Tonight's episode, Legion of the Lost.
just ain't the time to put the bite on me. I'd share if I wasn't sick. I'm expecting a bad time tonight.
What's to hear in an alley? They could shoot a cannon off down here. You think I'm getting out of bed?
Okay. So you found him about 7.
Truck comes by at 8. I lug the stuff out by 7.
You ever seen him before?
What's to see? He's a wino, right? Like they say, you seen one. Okay if I dump the junk?
Yeah. Looks like somebody rolled him for pocket change. Pretty much routine down here, Steve.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, all right. How you doing?
How are you, Cap? How's it going?
Okay, you know that guy there?
Charlie. You got any use for that, Cap? Yeah, how about it?
Yeah, fingerprints. You got a last name?
What's the difference? Wino Charlie. How about it, Cap?
Well, keep the bag around it while we're drinking.
Red tape, you know how it is. Charlie what?
Wino Charlie. Huh? What's the difference?
Look, what about it, Cap? Ain't it worth something? You're out for commissioner, Cap, and you get our vote, right?
Yeah, both of us.
Let's go to Al's, huh?
Yeah.
You never get anything out of that tribe, Steve. They just don't open up to outsiders.
No, they don't look too concerned, all right.
Well, finding a body in an alley gets to be an everyday occurrence down here.
Not 3 in 2 weeks, all clubbed the same way.
You can't expect these boys to keep score.
Well, somebody's got to keep score, right, Vic? Let's see if we can get the report moving.
Right away.
Come in. It's open.
I couldn't believe it. Olson said you got your limit already. What'd you do? Use a net?
No.
Well, come on. Let's see the catch. Where is it?
All the fish you're gonna find in there is leftover tuna salad.
You're putting me on.
No.
I've got my mouth all set for a trout dinner you're gonna lay out.
Well, you get your mouth all set for a tuna salad.
You didn't catch anything?
Oh, sure. Beer cans and bread wrappers.
You should have stayed. I wouldn't expect you till next week. Maybe your luck might have changed.
Yeah, you walked that river for 2 days, look at nothing on your reel for 2 nights, while you're swatting mosquitoes, and a hot tub begins to sound pretty good to you.
Yeah. Let's see, Olson said you called at 7:30. It's 11 now. It's a pretty good time from where you were.
What are you grinning about?
You couldn't stand it, could you?
Couldn't stand what?
Being away when you heard what happened.
So that's it, huh? You thought that I telephoned because...
All I'm saying is I got more faith in your ability with a fly rod than I do in your ability to take a week's vacation like any other normal person. And I'm saying this right here. Prima facie evidence, Lieutenant.
Down there got you, didn't I?
Really tried to smoke it past me, didn't you? The old hard, fast one.
No. You're not sore, are you?
Sore? No, I'm not sore. I'm happy you're here. This is a tough one.
Yeah, Rudy told me. 3rd one of those winos killed within 2 weeks. What do you think?
I want to know what you're thinking before you bust.
Yeah, well, grab yourself a cup of coffee while I shave and shower. Rudy said you found nothing by the bum but a bottle, right?
Right.
So that rules out mugging, right?
Right.
What I mean is that you don't kill for the price of a bottle and then leave it behind, right?
Right. Is that new?
Yeah. Jeannie gave it to me for Father's Day.
It works without a cord?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see it.
Listen, what do we got now? We got 3 bums beaten to death for no apparent reason.
Right.
There could be a connection, though, you know. Could be one of those kooks, maybe, like we had a couple of years ago. One-man campaign to clean up the whole city.
That's right. I remember you told me about that, yeah.
It's awful tough to know what's going on down there. They don't like people asking questions.
You ain't whistling.
You know what I think we got to do?
What?
We got to put a man there undercover.
Yeah?
Somebody that walked all day, all night, worked their way right into that whole crowd. And I'll bet you within 48 hours, we got something. Come on, let me have that.
Wait a minute. Let me try it. It's a good idea, you know, undercover. Yeah, Olson told me he said it. How do you feel about Averchek?
Are you kidding? That fuzz-faced kid? Why, he'd stick out like a harp polisher in a house full of hookers.
Okay. What about Peterson?
Sure, Peterson. You'd put Peterson down there in that tenderloin after he walked that beat for 10 years with a nightstick? No, not Peterson. It's got to be somebody they don't know. Somebody who looks like them. Somebody who looks as though he hasn't slept in a feather bed all his life.
Somebody who looks like he sleeps outside swatting mosquitoes.
Time, brother.
Lord love you.
Maybe that's asking too much. Say, I just blew in from Stockton. Things quieted down.
How so?
Well, I understand you got to be careful where you lay your head. Some of the brothers haven't been waking up.
Oh, yeah. Don't give it a mind. The feud's over. Have peace on earth.
Yeah. Somebody mad at somebody.
Plain as day. 3 dead, right?
That's what they tell me.
And them 3 had a grudge. So you take number 1, killing number 2, and then number 3, killing number 1. And number 4, maybe it was 3, having to get back at number 2.
I follow you, buddy. Smart thinking. Take it easy, buddy. Hey, you need some help?
Yeah, Keller.
You're warm, comfortable, sitting down?
Michael, how you doing?
Oh, fine, just fine. I talked to 10 different guys that got 10 different theories. You know what the latest one is? The syndicate is moving in. Yeah, they want to scare the winos out. The money wants to build 16 high-rises in the area. The winos are cluttering up the neighborhood.
Sounds terrific.
What did you get from the lab?
Well, they picked up some traces of casein, albumin, and wax from around the wound area. Now, that's the kind of stuff that comes off of leather.
So the weapon was leather-covered? A sap, maybe? Leaded at the end?
No. Coroner says a sap leaves a deeper impression at one end of the wound. These were flat, hard blows, about 6 inches wide. And he says they left 4 significant impressions.
Knuckles.
Yeah, but that kind of force against a skull.
Brass knuckles.
That's right. And the leather could be a glove, right?
Maybe. Any other connection between those 3 dead guys?
No, nothing. Different backgrounds, drunk records in every city you can think of. We can't even prove they knew each other. So what about you? Where are you going to be staying tonight?
Well, you said that they were all found outside, didn't you? Alley, pier, under the freeway?
Yeah?
Well, that's where I'm going to be. Outside, under that blue sky. I'll see you.
Well, good luck.
Hey, there's nothing there, son. How long have you had them? Believe me, son, when I tell you there's nothing there. There's no spiders, no mice, no nothing. When was the last time you had a drink?
I've been in jail for 3 days.
Dried out happens, huh? Cold sober and you're seeing everything that walks and crawls. What's your name, boy?
Paul Thomas.
Paul Thomas. Here. Get some of this hot coffee down you, son. Good for you. Come on. Come on, take some more. Here's a sandwich. Hey, now wait!
Don't, Jake!
Okay.
Don't get up.
Jake, he was just gonna give me a cup of coffee.
Get the kid a bottle. Get him straightened out and we'll sneak him into Vera's tonight. What do you have planned for the kid?
Nothing. Coffee sandwich, maybe.
Enough from around here. Where you from, champ?
Stockton. Just blew in this morning.
Okay, Stockton. You get back there tomorrow. If I catch you near here near that kid, they'll mail back what's left of you for 6 bits. You got that, champ?
Are you sure it's the right guy?
It's gotta be. Had his last fight 8 years ago. State contender for light heavy title in 57.
That's him. Big Jake Wilson. Doesn't look like much now. But he can sure unload a punch like a sledgehammer.
I ran a print check. Ex-Navy, no family.
How did he hit bottom?
Put a bartender through a plate glass window. Wasn't the first time he worked somebody over. Boxing commission pulled his license.
What about lately?
Well, he's got a file about a foot wide. Been out of jail, in and out of jail every year in the tank. Except for the last 2. Only a couple of busts in the last 30 months. He's got a plain drunk and a D&D. He laid this guy out in an alley. Arresting officers had already booked him when the guy came to in the hospital, said he didn't want to press charges.
Or his luck, maybe.
He could kill somebody with his fist, no doubt about it.
You can say that again. What about motive?
I don't know. He just likes to use his hands, I guess.
Say, what about this Vera's place he mentioned?
It's one of those independently run missions. It's owned by a lady named Vera Kingsley. Former alcoholic, just trying to help.
She live there?
No, she lives in L.A. She's got a mission there. She's also got one in San Pedro. Independent, no religious affiliation, clean rooms, hot meals, $1 a day. She pays the difference.
It must be a packed house.
It's not, no. It's too tough. You either got to be on the wagon or make it an effort. Backsliders get kicked out.
Now, wait a minute. This Wilson guy, he's still hanging in there.
I know. Last 2 times he got booked, he gave that as his address. I figure that must be what's helping his record.
You know, it doesn't make sense, you know that?
What?
A guy like that fighting to stay off the sauce, going around hammering heads?
Maybe that's what happens when he starts boozing.
No, he wasn't lit last night.
He sure laid into you.
Yeah.
Could have left you like those other 3 juicers.
Other 3 juicers?
What?
You said $1 a day?
Yeah?
Well, if Wilson's rooming there, that's where I'm gonna be.
Come on.
Come on now. A fancy dresser like you can afford a little more for a guy who's really down on his luck. Come on, give me a little.
Easy. $2.
$2?
For 2 days, if you can last that long.
Thanks for all the support.
Get out of here, you bum.
Bum? He's bum, he calls me a bum. Excuse me.
Hey, you looking for someone?
I'm looking for a room. Who do I see?
You'd have to see Mr. Gates.
Mr. Gates?
Yes?
Mr. Gates?
That's right.
I heard a man can get some help around here.
You heard wrong. A man helps himself around here.
I see.
No, you don't. No one who ever walked through that door like you did ever left all of his problems behind. Neither will you.
I'd like to try.
A lot of men have tried. Only 1 out of 50 have lasted a week.
Well, odds like that, a fellow has a lot of friends if he blows it, doesn't he? You do have a room.
Yes, and a job to go with it. Something to remember. If a man rolls up his sleeves and pitches in, he may make a lot of friends who have been fighting the same fight that he's been fighting, who are willing to give him a helping hand.
Well, now, you know, that's a big step up from where I've been.
Maybe it's the biggest step you'll ever make. Idea is not to fall off.
I don't intend to.
The name is Wilson. Jake Wilson, what's yours?
Smith, Mike Smith.
Mike Smith. A lot of your relatives been here before you.
Jake, names don't matter here, just results. Well, let's get you situated. All the meals are held in here. Hours are posted. The guests do all the cooking and the cleaning. You'll be told when it's your turn.
Yes, sir.
We have just one rule. No booze.
Yes, sir.
Not in the house, not on your breath.
Yes, sir.
One bit of trouble and you're out.
Yes, sir.
I'll take him up, Harry. I was just going to clean out Charlie's room anyway.
Okay. Just see that he gets a shave, a shower, and a bed. We'll talk about that job later.
Thank you, sir.
Just up there on the first floor. Second door on your left.
I came here for a hot bath and a clean bed. That's all.
And I made you a promise. Mike Smith, huh?
That's right.
Well, you got a lot of guts, Smith, I'll give you that.
What's bugging you, Wilson?
You. You know, wino, who are you?
Look, Wilson, I don't like to think about what I am any more than you probably do. And I don't like being pushed.
Well, there's one thing I don't like about you, Smith. I don't like the way you answer questions.
Then don't ask the questions.
Jake,
Yeah?
Paul's looking for you downstairs. Says it's kind of important.
I'll see you later, Smith.
Jake, telling you about what happened to old Charlie, was he?
Charlie?
Yeah. Charlie Dermott. The fella just checked out of here.
No, what happened?
Oh, well, I guess you could say kind of checked out for good, you know. Turned up in the alley the other morning. Got himself beat to death. I just thought maybe Jake might have been telling you about it. Looked like he was a little edgy, you know.
Oh, you saw that too, huh? I thought it was just me because I'm kind of shaky right now.
No, it was Jake that was shaking. Of course, he got a right to be as close as he was to Charlie and the others.
The others?
Yeah, a fella called Ziggy got himself beat up the same way about a week ago. And then there was a old boy named Guy Lucas. Yeah.
Say, those two fellas, are they buddies of Jake's?
Oh, well, you know Jake knows everybody been around here. Well, I guess I should say that everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Used to be a fighter in the ring, you know.
No, I didn't know. Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He was really something, he was. You should have seen him. He moved like a machine. Oh, yeah, he had it. He had it.
He did, huh?
Yes, sir. Could have been champ, too. Except for the old bottle bug. Well, once you get yourself settled in, anything you need, just holler, huh?
Oh, just 1 second. That guy, Paul, that you said was downstairs. Would that happen to be Paul Thomas?
Yeah. You know him?
Just to talk to. He bunk here?
No. A couple of boys sneaked him in last night. But he couldn't make it. Had to take off. He likes to bed down a little place down near Bay Road, usually.
A loner, huh?
Oh, yeah, yeah. He likes to watch the water, see the boats. But I wouldn't bother him right now, though, if I was you. He looks like he's in a pretty bad way.
Okay. Thanks for telling me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'll see you for supper.
Yeah, I'll be down there.
Yeah, fine.
Keller?
I gotta be quick, Steve.
Go.
Your Charlie Doe has a last name. D-E-R-M-O-T-T. The other two guys are a Guy Lucas and a Ziggy. Got that?
C-I-G-G-Y?
That's right. I'll try to get the full name. You check out the other two.
Right. Now, what about this guy, Wilson?
I don't know yet. He didn't show up for dinner. I'll try to track him down.
You got any idea where?
Yeah, maybe. I gotta go. I'll keep in touch.
Mike.
Who's that? Jake? I don't need any company tonight, Jake. I'm doing fine.
Hey, hold it! Paul! Hey.
Mild concussion, he'll be okay.
Find out who paid his fine and who swung him out of that tank.
Cash in an envelope delivered by messenger. Look what I found in his wallet.
That's Paul Thomas.
Last name's Cullen. Older guy's his father. Used to own half the boaty yards along the coast a couple of years ago.
Owned? Past tense?
Died 2 months ago.
So the fourth victim was supposed to be a silver spoon type. Down to drinking cheap wine and sleeping on cement. Did you talk to him?
Doesn't remember anything, didn't see anything. Called Mrs. Kingsley down to the San Pedro place. She says he showed up about a month ago. Said he was in Mexico for about a year.
Somebody pays his fine, puts him back out on the streets so that he can have his head ripped off.
You know what I think?
Yeah. The other 3 killings to cover up one.
Right.
You keep him in the hospital, private room, man at that door. Find out all you can about his family and friends. Yeah. I'm going to try to run down Wilson.
Right. I like your tailor.
Yeah, thanks for the quarter.
Let's put a clause in it regarding divers going into night work. And make certain they understand the contract includes no channel work.
What? What does he want? All right, let him come up.
Yes, Mr. Richardson. Thank you. Would you like to go up, Inspector?
Thank you. Well, the face looks familiar. Guess I should know the name.
You might. Oh, I wouldn't. But I think he was a very well-known boxer.
Is he a friend of Mr. Richardson's?
Mr. Richardson has interest in several fighters. It's been a special interest of his over the years.
Uh-huh.
Come in.
Hello.
Inspector?
Keller.
My secretary said it was about traffic violations. Tickets Paul Jr. has been ignoring.
Yeah, ever since we tied our computer into the traffic bureau, a lot of trouble.
Why don't you send the company the bills? Let us pay the fines.
Well, see, the problem is, Mr. Richardson, some of the tickets go back 3 years. So I'm afraid that Paul Jr. is going to have to see the judge personally.
Well, you're going to have a problem there. Junior left home about 3 years ago, and we haven't heard from him since.
I'll tell you one thing, I sure wish my office had this view.
The staff finds it pleasant.
You live aboard?
This time of year. We have crews working around the clock, so I keep myself on call here.
3 years? You said nobody's seen him for 3 years?
A bit more, in fact. It was right out here on the pier. He had the final argument with his father. The old man was tired of his playboy antics. Told him he'd see his next dime when he put in a day's work.
Well, has anybody tried to get in touch with him either through the police or private agencies?
If he wants to waste his life, let him. I was dirtying my hands on Cullen barges while Junior was tooling around $10,000 sports cars. While he's drinking himself to death on tequila, I'm up here. I've got a short fuse when it comes to anybody not holding up his end.
That's all right. Do you think he's been in Mexico for a while, huh?
Mexico?
I'm sorry, you said tequila. I thought...
No, that's just an expression. Don't misunderstand. I'm not angry with Paul personally. It's all the Pauls. The clean fingernail kids with everything handed to them.
Well, do you think he's been in touch with his family?
It's not likely. He only has a sister. And if you think blood is thicker than water...
Listen, Junior is out of my life, and Roy Richardson was never in it. And if he doesn't know that, you can just tell him. And you can also tell him that his big pronouncements really tick me off.
Look, Kathy, why don't we just
And don't give me any of your Chicky Babe routine, Terry. I mean, you can just save that for... Hello?
Hi. Are you Kathy Cullen?
Yes. Well, you want to come aboard? You're a bit early.
Not as expected. Hello.
Well, you've read the survey and you've seen the specs. Her overall length is 34.9. It's a fine Headley engine, lead keel, and a stainless tank with a cruising range of about...
Excuse me, I think you made a mistake.
Listen, just let me get it all out front, okay? Now, the price is firm within 2,000 or 3,000. No lowball offers. And if that doesn't completely blow the deal, I'll show you below.
My name's Keller, Inspector Keller, SFPD.
Well, you're certainly not alive. When are you?
Unless you accept a trade-in for a '65 Porsche. Of course, I could throw in 3 rooms of fake Danish furniture. I got a TV. Only gets color in one station.
No baseball cards or trading stamps.
Well, I was saving that for the clincher. But I guess I won't buy it, so I better stay with the questions I brought.
Like?
Traffic violations for your brother. We ran our computer through the traffic bureau and...
No, traffic rap brings a big guy with a very solemn expression and lots of stripes on his uniform. Not Ivy League. And handsome. I've had that house call myself, Inspector. What's happened to Junior?
You were hoping you could tell us? All we know is he's missing.
Giant loss.
Sounds like you're not too close.
No, been no letters, no phone calls, no get-well notes, messages in bottles. I mean, zero communication. But then that's just like when I saw him every day.
Well, why do you think he just dropped out? I mean, he had everything. Position, money. Why'd he just chuck it?
Because Junior's a schlep. No, I mean, well, the old man, you know, was a bulldozer. Real alley fighter. But Dad just scared Paul to death. The more he pounded him into that square hole, the more he retreated.
So he went into the bottle, not business.
Yeah. Too bad, too. I mean, he could really have run this yard. Not the way old Blood and Guts did. And not the way I could. But in his own low key, he could have hacked it. You see, I sat with Dad those last months while Junior was staring through his bottle bottoms. I did the whole scene, from the book reading to the bedpans. And you know the last words that my father said to me? Where's Paul? Where's my son? And he left him the whole Megillah.
Well, it looks like he didn't exactly leave you out in the cold.
Oh, no. No, I wasn't. I got treated just like Tinkerbell. You know Tinkerbell?
Yes.
It's a girl. So we protect her. We set up a trust fund so that she doesn't blow the whole wad on permanents and pantyhose. And that's why I have to get rid of Celeste. Because of that lousy trust fund.
And this Roy Richardson, he's the head of the company right now?
Yeah, another schlep. I mean, he was just on the scene. He was available. So Dad put him in the slot hoping Paul would come back. And now he thinks he's in for good.
But we know better, right?
You can bet your badge.
Tinkerbell's revenge, right?
Something like that. You have to get back to punching doorbells right away?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. To keep in touch. I mean, I might want to talk about your 65 Porsche.
I might like to talk to you about it.
Okay.
Yes, Doctor. Yes. I'll see to it.
Excuse me, Paul Thomas. What room is he in?
At the end of the... I'm sorry, sir. There's no admittance to Mr. Thomas's room. Yes?
She had the motive, all right. All she needed was somebody to do the rough stuff.
Remember that guy I told you was on the boat with her?
Yeah.
Talked to the dock master. Turns out he had a couple of pro fights. Name's Terry Benner.
Big guy?
Yeah, 210. He had the motive and means. Just like Richardson and Wilson.
Yeah, Big Jake. So now we're in a scramble for control of the company, huh?
The key seems to be Cullen.
But the wild card is Jake Wilson. We don't know whether he's with us or against us.
record.
I couldn't have been away from the room for more than a minute. 2 at the most, Lieutenant. The nurse called for help. I ran down, ripped the tape off the guy's mouth, and burned it back up here as soon as he described who it was put him away.
Anybody else see him?
Yeah, a couple of interns. They gave the same description. It was Wilson, all right.
Okay.
Sorry, Lieutenant. I really feel like a dunce.
How could you know? Listen, get on the box, put on an APB on both of them.
Right away.
You know, for a guy who's had his bell rung as many times as this Wilson, he thinks pretty good.
Well, if we're on the right track, buddy boy, he's not the head work. He's the muscle.
You know, I don't know about this. Same place. Might not be such a good idea coming back here, maybe,
Don't worry about it, Jake. There's 2 of us. That guy's never going after 2 people at the same time.
I know, but what I mean is you play the
Yeah,
percentage.
I'll get my stash. We'll share it.
No, Paul. No, I gotta stay dry.
Yeah, I gotta put out the fire. I couldn't have stayed in that room another 10 minutes. It was great to see your big, ugly face.
You didn't see who it was that hit you, huh?
No, like I told you. First I thought it was you. But I was pretty bummed. I couldn't see you too well. It's gone, Jake. Somebody's been here and they ripped off my stash. I can't afford to go dry, Jake. I need it. I can't stand going through that again.
Take it easy, kid. I'll get you some.
Will you, Jake?
Yeah, sure,
Can you give me a bottle?
sure. And I know a place to go, too, eh? Come on now, we'll go there.
No, Jake. Just get me a bottle, okay? That'd be great. But I don't want to do any more running. I mean, like, you know, like those fancy dances. Run around the ring trying to stay away from you. I mean, how much farther can you run in this?
You ain't scared here, huh? Hey?
No, the only thing that scares me is that it's coming on fast. Unless I get something to drown it.
All right. I'll be right back.
Inspectors 8-1 to headquarters.
10-4-8-1, go ahead.
What about the APB on a Jake Wilson and Paul Thomas, a.k.a. Paul Cullen?
Negative 8-1. We'll keep you posted.
10-4.
I was thinking, if Wilson's got Paul and he's our man, he wouldn't take him back to the same place, would he?
Well, I'd hate not to go and then go back later and find him in a heap. Behind that red car. Jake.
Paulie's after Paulie.
Who?
I don't know. I never seen him before.
Steve, you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just twisted my knee.
Look at his face, though. There's a guy on the boat with Kathy Cullen, Benner.
So it was him and the sister, huh?
Yeah. Who's he working over?
Wilson.
How is he?
Not too good. He told the kid to make a run for it while he held off a couple of brass knucks. Listen, get an ambulance, will you?
Right.
Jake, an ambulance is on the way. Just hang on, fella.
Cop. I knew there was something about you.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Take it easy.
The kid.
He'll be okay. Don't
He's
worry.
a good kid.
Don't talk.
He don't belong down here.
Take it easy. Don't talk much.
All he wanted was somebody to talk to. You know, that's all that anybody wants. Maybe.
Don't talk, Jake. Don't talk now.
You know, just somebody to talk to it.
Take it easy, Jake.
Listen. You tell
Attendants are here. I'll get him down.
Just show him. And then get on that box and see if they picked up that Cullen dame yet. Jake.
Help! Help! Can you guys help me out for just a second? There's a friend of mine in trouble over there. It's really serious. Please, come on. Can you help me just for a second?
Was that your buddy?
Charges? What charges?
Murder?
What?
Where's Terry Benner?
Terry Benner? You put me with Terry Benner and you come up with murder?
4 counts. And 1 attempted against your own brother.
That is crazy. Why would I want to kill Paul?
Well, we were talking this afternoon. There was no love lost.
Did I say anything about wanting him dead?
You said a mouthful about revenge.
And Benner was there just before you said it.
Wait a minute. You think Terry did these things?
We can prove it.
Well, then you should be talking to Roy, not to me.
Roy Richardson?
Yes. He sent Terry over here this afternoon to tell me not to talk to anybody about Paul's tickets.
We don't buy it, Miss Cullen.
But it's true. I mean, you can check it out. He's one of Roy's fighters that didn't make it. He works for him. You think that I would want to kill my own brother? And you say that there is no love lost. Well, that is not true. It all got lost somewhere. But he is still my brother.
Benner, if you'd only once do what I ask you to do.
You killed him, didn't you, Roy? And you killed all of them.
Put that down, Paul.
And you had him do it for you, didn't you? You thought nobody'd notice. Nobody'd care. Just one more drunken bum turns up when there's so many of them dying the same way.
Put it down.
No, I'm gonna bury it right in your head. The same way you had him hammer them all to death. Why, Roy? The money? Business? You knew I never wanted it. You knew that.
Your father left it to you anyway. I couldn't chance your crawling out of your bottle someday to claim what I've earned.
Earned? For killing defenseless old men in an alley? Men that never hurt anyone? That just wanted to be alone?
Some people might say I did the city a favor.
The city might have something to say about that. I know I do. All right, get him out of here.
Paul, I'm Inspector Keller. This is Lieutenant Stone.
Well, maybe we can have that cup of coffee now, Paul.
Jake was sure that it was you.
I know, and I was sure it was Jake. We were both wrong.
The big thing now is to prove that Jake wasn't wrong about you.
What does that mean?
Well, I went the distance for you. Must figure you're worth something.
Yeah, but how do you prove something like that?
We try. And we keep the right people in our corners.
The Streets of San Francisco, a Quinn Martin production, starring Karl Malden. Also starring Michael Douglas. With guest stars David Burney, Michael Strong, Madeline Rue, Dick Van Patten. Special guest star, Lynn Marta. Tonight's episode, Clown of Death.
Hey, what's the matter with this thing?
Code blue, room 351.
We tried to defibrillate him, and when there was no response, we brought the body down here. I'll send you a copy of the preliminary autopsy.
According to your medical record, Mr. Reiner was terminal?
Yes. Yes, he was completely dependent on the respirator. It was really only a matter of time, perhaps weeks.
Are you sure it couldn't have been an accident?
Yes. And so is my maintenance supervisor.
Albert Reiner, 67, retired. Medicare's picking up his tab. Next of kin is a brother, same address.
Gentlemen, I'd very much appreciate knowing the results of your investigation as soon as possible.
Well, we'd like to start by looking at Reiner's room.
Is that really necessary, Lieutenant? You know, a thing like this is very bad for the hospital.
Doctor, we're not too happy about it either.
Like I told you, it works perfectly.
There's no way this plug could have worked its way loose?
No way. It's a locking plug. I just had to put a whole new power cable on it. So here's the cable I took off. Now, this locking plug twists in and locks. Now, these leads were ripped out of here. And believe me, it took more than one hard pull to do it.
Was this room sterilized?
In ICU, it's standard procedure.
And the medical team wasn't thinking of homicide, Lieutenant. We were only trying to save a life.
Miss Martins, were you the first one in the room?
I ran in as soon as I heard the cardiac arrest signal.
Was there anyone in the hall?
No, sir.
What about the other members of the staff?
Well, I drafted most of the aides to wheel the patients out to the West Lawn. The circus gave us a free performance this morning.
Exhibit A.
Has Reiner's brother been notified?
No, not yet. We don't have a home phone listed. But I'm told that he visited Mr. Reiner every morning.
You know what time he was here today, ma'am?
Mr. Reiner's had no visitors.
He's had one.
So the only prints we find in that cable belong to McLeod's. And we don't got one witness. And why would somebody kill a terminal patient anyway?
What was the other brother's name?
Hans.
Hans, yeah, that's right. First morning in a month he doesn't visit. Does that suggest anything?
Like what?
Maybe he was there. To release his brother from that machine.
Or euthanasia?
Unless you have a better theory.
Hi, Jack. That's what I love about doing benefits. Coffee and a sinker for breakfast and a jokey box of bread and bologna for lunch.
Don't tell me, tell Sterling he ordered it. Now, anyhow, Red, you ought to be on Weight Watchers. I mean, there I am, 4 feet off the ground, right? Suddenly, an old lady gets out of her wheelchair. But there's no show tonight. How about dinner?
Oh, I don't think so. I'm kind of tired. I was sightseeing all day.
Sightseeing. What is this? I mean, last week, every night. This week, nothing? Tell her I'm serious about it.
He's serious about you.
There, you see?
And about acrobats and ballet
Hey.
dancers and trapeze artists and... I wonder how you have the strength to stay on the wire.
Oh, that's serious business up there. I mean, do you know when I'm up there? Every moment I worry. One misstep, I may never see you again.
Oh, all right.
Excellent. I'll pick you up about 7.
I don't know how you stand him. All his class is in his feet.
Yeah, well, at least he's got it somewhere.
He's not in.
You know where Mr. Reiner is?
What would the police want with him?
Oh, we'd like to talk to him about his brother.
Albert?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, is he?
He died a few hours ago.
Dear God. It'll be so hard on poor Hans. Ever since he put Albert in the hospital, he's just been lost.
Well, do you have any idea where he is?
Well, in the mornings, he always goes to the hospital. The rest of the time, he just stays around here. The circus. He told me he was going to the circus at the Cow Palace. Hans and Albert never missed a one. That was their profession, you know, until they retired.
Well, would you have him call me when you see him?
Certainly. Is it all right if I tell him what happened?
I think you'd be the best one to do it.
I will.
Thank you. They both belong to the circus.
There was a circus at the hospital at the time of the homicide. Could be a connection.
Could be you just want to go see the big top.
Beats paying $6.50 a ticket.
Okay, you got the cradle set, now get the 3 single traps up.
Jack has been our ringmaster since the year 1. You know, I'd only be kidding you if I didn't admit that he ran things. Or worse, I'd be kidding myself. Oh, Jack, listen, did we ever have a Hans or an Albert Reiner work for us?
I don't think so, Mr. Sterling. What was their act?
We don't know that. This is Lieutenant Stone and Inspector Keller, San Francisco Police.
Hello.
Jack Leopold.
I could ask around. They may have been on other shows.
How large a troop did you send to the hospital this morning?
24, sir. All right. Clowns, acrobats, jugglers, wire act, pony act. Something wrong?
Well, we might have a possible homicide.
That makes 2.
What do you mean?
That old man that was knifed outside the arena when we played Denver?
The police said it was a mugging.
All the same, he died in the shadow of the circus.
Death comes 3 times. Circus people live on superstitions. And luck, and weather, and moods, and accidents. I tell you, what I could really use on this staff is an exorcist. Well, if I can be of any more help, please let me know.
We will, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
May I keep this list for a while?
Of course.
Thank you.
What is it you're looking for, Inspector?
Answers. That's all, just answers.
Well, I don't think you're going to find any here. You know, a lot of people have funny ideas about the circus, but we're just a business like IBM or the telephone company. What do you... Excuse me.
Hey, what are you guys doing with that paint? I told you, gold leaf, not that dingy mustard color. Watch what you're doing, for heaven's sake, and get a ground cloth down there. This isn't some ragged little mud show.
Just like any other business.
So, where do you want to start?
Well, I'll take the clowns and the jugglers.
Good, I'll take the pony girls.
That figures.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the ponies.
Do those look like ponies to you?
No, those look like elephants.
Oh, that's very good. You know the difference between a pony and an elephant.
That I do, yeah.
They're in the shed over there. You interested in anyone in particular, Sweetface?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, hi. Yeah, I'm interested in anyone who was at the hospital this morning.
We weren't on call. What are you, an insurance man?
No, cop.
A cop? Should have known. Somebody scarper with something.
Somebody did what?
Steal something.
Yeah, something like that. I assume you said the shed was right over there?
Yeah. Barbara, will you show him where it is? I never met a cop yet who knew his way out of the paper bag.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're very kind. She's always like that?
Always. Especially with cops. She was married to one.
Say, isn't this sort of like the car that Lou Jacobs rigged up, only larger?
Uh-huh. Know him?
No, I never had that privilege. I just read up on clown routines whenever I can. I did a clown act. I try to do a clown act in the police show. Strictly amateur. Listen, I understand you fellas did a benefit at the hospital.
Clowns always do the benefits.
Yeah, I understand that there was an old circus hand named Albert Reiner. He died in the hospital. Do any of you know him?
Oh, sure. Old timers, he and Hans. He worked the Scaloni one ringer in London.
Were they clowns?
No. Al was a wire walker at the time, and then he was boss rigger. Hans was prop man. Must be 10, 11 years ago. You know, seems that Neil told me he was related to them or something.
Neil?
High wire guy.
I didn't get anything. Troop left the hospital about 11:30, then they came back here.
Jeez, it slipped. I'm sorry. You all right?
Yeah, I'm just fine.
Sure.
Neil Ruggers?
Yeah.
San Francisco Police. I want to ask you a few questions.
My sense of timing is really terrific, isn't it?
I understand that you're related to Albert and Hans Reiner.
Yeah, they're my uncles.
When was the last time you saw them?
Oh, I don't know, back in the dark ages. Why?
Did you perform at the hospital this morning?
Yeah?
Well, your Uncle Albert. Did you visit him?
No, I didn't even know he was in San Francisco. What's all this about?
Well, your uncle died this morning.
Oh. He was such a tough old bird. I always figured he'd last forever.
How did he get along with his brother?
Hans. Oh, they were like Siamese twins.
Tell us anything about their friends, habits, enemies, anything?
Man, I can't tell you anything. I mean, I left a long time ago. You see, they brought me up after my mother died, taught me how to work the wire. But they were perfectionists, you know, old world, and I just couldn't take it, so I left. Guess it's a little late to say I'm sorry now. What'd he die of?
It's possible he was murdered.
Like I say, my sense of timing is terrific.
Hans happens to come to see you. Have him call us.
Thank you.
Sure.
Intensive care ward, please. Miss Martins, if she's on duty. I'll hold.
Yeah, Denver's got the case open as a knife mugging. 60-year-old Caucasian male, 5 feet 8. Mugger's got the ID. Haven't been able to trace the prints yet.
Yeah, well, what about a photo?
It's on its way.
Miss Martins, Lieutenant Stone. Has Hans shown up yet? All right. Thank you. Still missing.
Yeah, Mrs. Clemens said Hans doesn't come back to the apartment either. Think he's taken off?
Could be grief. Or guilt. Let's get a search warrant.
Okay.
Maybe he'll be a lot easier to find if we know what he looks like.
He's never stayed away this long before. I told the young man who was here earlier I haven't the foggiest idea of where Mr. Reiner could be.
Now, what young man was that?
Oh, he didn't give his name, wouldn't leave a message. Try to come in once in a while and tidy up. Although they don't pay for cleaning service. It's got a lot worse since Albert got sick.
Is he in any of these?
Mike?
He says he's been dead 4 or 6 hours.
Now, what's that?
Some stuff they found under his fingernails, a white powder, not smack.
Okay, take it to the lab. Look at this, scrapbooks, all over the place. All on Neil Ruggers. They followed his career all the way from the apprenticeship right to the center ring.
Graham Boston Circus 68. Boston 71, USA National 73. Ruger said he had no contact with them, but they should have been following his career.
Lieutenant, the officer said you wanted to see me.
Yes. I wanted you to take a look at this. Was this the young man that was here at 7 tonight?
It is. Who is he?
My nephew. Name is Neil Ruggers. Did they ever talk about him?
No, I don't think so.
Come on. Why don't you go to your room?
Thank you.
We'll call you if we need you.
Safe deposit key for some bank down the street.
Say, I'll get a court order for that safe deposit box. Let's wrap it up here, and why don't you hit the circus again?
What, Neil?
Yeah. He was at the hospital this morning. He was here tonight. If he isn't part of this, he should be. Why don't you pick him up?
Okay. Went by his room. It was dark.
Well, Neil might be in the blue room.
What is that? What's the blue room?
That's any room with a table. The game starts in March down in Florida, and it ends back there in November. My dad always told me never sit in. I figured it was one of those don't mingle with the help snobbery things until they hung me out to dry a few times.
This is going to cost you everything, including your big red nose.
Uh-huh. We talking a bit.
75 cents. Has anybody seen Ruggers?
No.
Call. Yeah, we saved a bail for him, but no show.
You know where I might find him?
Well, been seeing a lot of Barbara lately, and I don't think it's her riding lessons. Gentlemen, jacks and threes.
Ah.
I keep the nose, huh?
Barbara, I'm sorry to bother you, but we're looking for Neil.
Did you try the blue room? He made a big thing about taking me out to dinner and then decided to play poker.
Well, he hasn't been there all day.
Hiya, sweet face. You're still around, huh?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Well, excuse me, have you ever heard of a Hans or Albert Reiner?
No.
They're Neil's uncles. They both died this morning.
And?
Crystal, keep out of this, would you?
Well, when was the last time you saw Neil?
Around 6:30.
Do you know where he is now? I mean, does he have friends in town? Or...
Not that I know of. I don't know where he is.
Could I take a look in his dressing room?
I don't have a key, but I can get one from the manager.
I have a key.
Want some popcorn?
Thank you.
Would you please tell me what's going on? Was it an accident?
Possible homicide.
Manchester, 1964. Al, Hans, Boylan, Murdoch, Red. This is Stone. I've got a snapshot here that I'd like to have blown up. I'll send it right down.
Rosin bag. Found it in Neil's trailer. Hasn't been around the Cow Palace since 6:30 this evening.
He missed a show?
No, in the dark on Monday, but he missed his girl. He lied to her.
Well, we still can't touch him.
I know, but he's just got a lot of character defects, you know? He seems to me might be possible of murdering his uncles. So, I'll take down this down to the lab and have it checked out.
Well, here, while you're at it, take this down too, will you? Remind them that I want it blown up by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Get the lab report?
Yeah, nothing, no match. It wasn't rosin under old Hans's fingernails. It was talcum powder.
Well, which all performers use. They all use makeup.
That gives us 20 more suspects.
Maybe not. I found these in the safe deposit box. Life insurance policies. $10,000 apiece. One made out to Albert and the other went to Hans. Neil is a beneficiary on both of them.
Motive and access. I just hope old Neil's got a perfect alibi.
Now, I haven't seen Neil all morning. He's got to be around someplace. Never missed a show yet.
Yeah, what about the photo, Red?
Well, that's me, all right. I worked a dozen little shows on the continent. A lot more circuses over there. But I wasn't with Scaloni except for the 63-64 season.
What about Murdoch and Boylan? What do they do? Performers? Or,
Oh, they're probably part of Al Reiner's crew. But after 11 years, I can't remember their names.
Oh, he's not in his trailer. No one's seen him. You pick anything up?
I remember some trouble in Scaloni about the Reiners. Happened after I left. Some kind of hassle.
Well, what was it? Do you know anyone who was involved? Come on, Red. Can you think of anything?
I'll think on it. Well, that's us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Excuse me.
Neil! Neil, police have been looking for you. Where have you been?
I was drinking last night. Later.
Neil, they think your uncle was killed.
Hans.
I had to tell them you broke our date.
Yeah, but what did he say about Hans?
They think he was killed, murdered.
You know, the cops were asking me all kinds of questions.
Yeah.
Take it easy, kid. You know, I just remembered some trouble your uncles got into at the Scaloni circus. Maybe it had something to do with their murder.
What are you talking about?
Hey, let's go. Spec's lining up.
I'll talk to you right after the show.
You really dig this, don't you?
Since I was a kid.
Gosh, you've been shot. Go get a stretcher.
What's that all about?
Hey! Call for an ambulance!
That's not part of the act. Come on.
Where'd you hide the gun?
What? What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. You had time to change your clothes. Now, where'd you hide it?
Look, I don't have time for this.
You saw your uncle last night, didn't you?
What is this? What are you hassling me for?
Neil, $20,000 insurance money.
Neil? Neil! Listen, he's going to be blowing more than his whistle if you don't get out there.
Look, I gotta go.
No. You're going to come with me and change your clothes. You come with me. Excuse us very much. Excuse us.
Leopold!
When they take him to his room, I want one man standing in front of that door day and night, 24 hours around the clock. And nobody gets in, you understand? Nobody without the doctor's permission. Yes.
He's still in shock, but it could have been worse.
Well, I saw him take a loaded shot right in the chest, point blank.
No, Lieutenant, that's not quite how it happened. "25 pounds of padding. Absorbed most of the pellets, slowed down those it didn't. But it was still like getting kicked in the guts by a mule.
Then he'll be all right.
If there are no complications, I'll keep you notified."
Thanks.
Right. I visited Uncle Hans, and he wasn't home.
So then you go out and get drunk. Is that it? It doesn't make it, Neil. No way. You got the opportunity, no alibi, and a $20,000 motive. So where the hell were you?
I spent the night with the girl in a motel near Fisherman's Wharf.
What's her name? Listen, you're down about two choices now, public defender or private attorney.
The lady is with the circus. She's married, and I don't want Barbara to find out. I don't even know if I can make you see this, but I care about Barbara. The thing is, I guess I just don't understand her very well. I mean, 1 minute she's terrific, and an hour later she's ice. Well, last night at 6:30, it was bad headache time, so I looked elsewhere. I don't want the lady's husband to find out. Please.
What's the girl's name and the motel room number?
Gina Marshall. The Twilight, 224, 226. If you knew anything about makeup, you know I didn't have time to shoot him and then remove it all before you found me.
Could have worn a face mask, Neil. The paraffin test wouldn't show any gunpowder on your hands either. Killer wore gloves, didn't he?
Hey, Mike, your picture's coming in from Denver PD.
Uh-huh. Now, that's the baby I've been waiting for. 10 years older, but that's boiling all right.
Whatever it was, Red had it figured out. He was going to tell me.
See, Red, he's not talking too much right now.
Go right ahead. Don't let me bother you.
You know, I don't care what you think of me. I didn't kill him.
See, the man can't come up with anything more original than the fact that he spent the night with a lady.
Check it. It's very simple. Check it.
So who's Mr. Boylan?
What, Mr. Boylan?
This one right here. He was murdered in Denver a month ago. That's when you and the circus were there.
This must be one of my uncle's old photographs.
It is.
Hans, Albert, Red. I don't recognize the other guys. Look, it's dated 64. I was in boarding school in 1964. You can check the records.
Well, we got a lot of checking out to do. How long's the circus going to be in town?
We open in Vancouver on Monday.
Ah, maybe you ought to plan on being here a little longer.
All right, you can go for now.
What are you doing? He's the only suspect we have. He's not only leaving the state, he's leaving the country.
Can you prove that he was in that hospital room this morning? Or that he was in Reiner's apartment? You can't. I'm telling you, there's a face missing there. A clown, the killer clown. And Sparky saw him. Come on. Let's go find our sketch artist.
Make that tear bigger. Yeah. The mouth was droopier.
Guess it all depends how you make the bread, huh?
You know about suspects, I know about makeup. Anyhow, I'll never forget that guy's face.
Well, take a good look, Sparky. You're our only witness. Let me have that. What do you say, fellas? Now, I read somewhere where there's an unwritten law that every clown's makeup is his own personal trademark. I know you guys will steal gags, but never a face.
If we knew, we'd tell you.
So who might know?
There is one guy here in town. Freddie Olburn, ex-kinker. Had a clown museum up on North Beach.
It's all here, friends. Everything your little heart's desire. If you're not happy, you're sick.
Yes, Sparky's right. I have a museum. It's in the back of my quarters. Private.
Nice going, son. Keep that up and you'll get the real thing sooner than you think.
You, care to try your luck? No. We're already at the real thing. I'd like to see the museum. I'd appreciate it.
Unbelievable, Freddie. Just beautiful. Really beautiful. Listen, you ever seen a clown's face like that one?
Cesar Walnut. Performed as a clown, later as a joey, a high-wire walker. Never made it big, but a good, solid performer. Don't think he ever played in this country.
Where is he now?
You know, my guess is he's with the USA National under a different name.
He goes back to the O'Reilly Consolidated shows at 38, Hayden's London Circus 46, Long Brothers McDonald, Edinburgh, Scaloni 60 through 64, and then no employment. Wolnick died in Brighton, November 71.
The names Boylan and Murdoch, they mean anything to you? They were riggers at the Scaloni Circus in 64?
Oh, I didn't follow the working men, just the performers. I had to draw a line somewhere. Boylan. No.
And Murdoch.
Ah, here's a Sean Murdoch. Worked as a ringmaster, drank himself out of a job. I got him now living in Vancouver.
Vancouver? That's the next stop for the circus.
Well, Mike, Sergeant Hollins, Vancouver Police.
Yes, Sergeant.
We traced Sean Murdoch for you, Lieutenant. He says he did work with Scaloni Circus in 1964. I'm putting him on the phone.
Mr. Murdoch, 4 men that worked with you at Scaloni have been victims of a killer.
Albert and Hans Reiner and Boylan are already dead. Red Ashburn is in the hospital unconscious. He's been shot.
Now, I have reason to believe that it's a high-wire Joey named Cesar Volnak. Mr. Murdoch, I need all the help I can get. That's why I'm asking you, do you know anything?
That's a long time ago. Guess it's all of 10 years. I don't know if Red was still with them then. I don't remember things too well anymore. We, Al, Hans, Boylan, and me were on the rigging crew. A guy wire broke on Caesar's rig. He came down hard. Yeah, he was busted up pretty bad.
How bad?
Bad. His legs. We picked him up. He was just all broke. He blamed us for it. He made a lot of crazy talk. He claimed we was drunk. He said he'd kill us.
It's Dr. Mayhill for Mike, but I think you better take it.
Yes, Inspector Keller. Doctor, may I help you?
Inspector, Red Ashburn died 10 minutes ago.
How?
Well, all technical jargon aside, his heart just gave out. The shock of the wound. He lived hard, used up, no reserve left. It happens.
Okay, can you hang on 1 second, please? Thank you. Red just died, Art.
Mr. Murdoch, would you put the sergeant back on the phone, please?
Yes?
Sergeant, Murdoch is a potential murder victim. He needs protection. Thanks. All right, I'll teletype all the information I have.
Dr. Mayhill, line 4.
Dr. Mayhew, I want you to withhold all the information you can on Red. Just for a few hours. Thanks. I tell you, the one thing that ties it all together
is revenge. It couldn't be Volnek, so it had to be somebody who was really close to him.
Let Interpol get into it, will you? I mean, they can trace his life story and they can give you the link.
Oh, come on, Steve. What are you talking about? Barring a confession, we don't have a case against anybody. Not even if we knew who did it.
How many times have you told me never as a police officer to use yourself as a target?
I'm not going in as a target. These murders were all carefully planned, except for Red's. And I tell you that killer got frightened. He thought that Red knew something. Well, I'm just gonna crowd him a little bit and give him some bait and hope he takes it.
What if he doesn't run?
There is no danger, I'm telling you. If everybody does his job.
I told them I called the hospital and that he was feeling so good he'd probably show up here tonight.
Okay, all units report.
This is Gary, backstage.
I'll have my cover to the arena.
This is Stevens in the main arena. We've got a good view of the whole area, Steve.
We're set, Steve. Neil's still in the dressing room.
Mount up! Showtime! Let's get ready! Come on, happy faces, smiling faces, everybody. Showtime, watch your spaces. Let's go! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. Welcome to the USA National Circus. Our opening displays a glittering galaxy of internationally famous circus stars in a sprightly promenade of greeting. A preview of all the joy, happiness, and laughter of the circus yet to come. And her miniature equine review.
Yeah.
He's coming in now.
gentlemen, with great pride, the USA National Circus presents the greatest funambulistic star of all time. He walks where angels fear to tread. In the upper reaches of the Cow Palace, ladies and gentlemen, the undisputed king of the high wire, Mr. Neil Ruggert. Concludes our circus performance here this evening. Thank you very much for coming to the USA National Circus.
Seemed like a good idea.
Didn't show.
No. How did I do?
Well, I don't think Emmett Kelly's gonna lose any sleep over you. The kids liked it.
Yeah, we weren't lucky, I guess.
We weren't? Could have been a lot worse, you know.
It's all over. Tell them all to leave.
He was my father, and they killed him. Those drunks. I took care of him for 6 years, and I watched him die. He was a good man, and they killed him. 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 They killed him.
I thought maybe you'd like to have this for your collection.
Red Ashburns?
That's right, kiddies. Break their legs off.
Let's go in the back. Well, what's going to happen to Walnut's kid?
Well, she's going to go to trial.
See, she used the circus as a cover-up. She used Neil to find out where the Rhiners were, and Bosley, he just sort of walked in. Guess he couldn't stay away from a good circus.
Why Red? He never heard Volnek.
Yeah, see, she thought that Red remembered that Volnek had a daughter who wanted to be a bareback rider. She's probably right.
You know, I'd sure like to have a memento of this case.
Oh, no. You're not asking me to break up that set.
I didn't mean that.
Oh. Well, I'll tell you what I will do. How'd you like something personal? Your own special clown makeup. I'll register it tomorrow.
An original one for me?
Yeah.
I'd like that. You know, Steve, if I hadn't been a cop...
I know, Mike, you would have been a clown.
The Streets of San Francisco, a Quinn Martin production. Starring Carl Malden. Also starring Michael Douglas. With guest stars Bill Bixby, Christopher Stone, Bert Freed, Fred Sadoff. Tonight's episode, Police Buff. Are there any more questions? All right. Mr. Wilson, you're excused. Will counsel please approach the bench?
They're gonna let him go.
Easy.
That's the way I'm going to have to rule, so please return to the counsel bench. On the motion to dismiss, the people not having proved a prima facie case against the defendant, Joseph Lucero, the motion is granted.
So much for our judicial system. 2 guys hold up a store, wound 3 people, kill a cop. He just walks out of here scot-free.
So he couldn't identify them?
Wouldn't identify him. He picked Lucero out of a lineup. It took him, what, 6 seconds? All of a sudden, we go to a preliminary hearing. He loses his memory?
All right. So he was intimidated. It's happened before.
Yeah, well, maybe I should intimidate that witness and let him know what it's really all about.
This case was dismissed.
Are you going to forget that they killed Al Crane in that robbery?
I'm not going to forget anything. I'll continue the investigation, but I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it by the book. You understand that?
Hear the words.
How do you feel about the decision, Mr. Lucero?
How do you think I feel? Great. I feel like singing. Any requests?
Do you think the police overreacted in the death of a fellow officer?
The police do what they always do. They get a big case, they try and pin it on the first guy that comes along. This time it didn't work.
What are you going to do now?
I'm going to go take a bath and wash off the stink.
Hey, come here, Ken. That's Stone. Lieutenant Stone? I just wondered if you had any comments to make on Joey Lucero being set free.
No comment.
What about the growing criticism of the courts, Lieutenant? Do you think that the courts are permitting too many criminals to go free on what are really, basically, technicalities?
No comment.
Well, what about Lucero case? Since this was a dismissal rather than an acquittal, are you going to pursue your case against him?
I'll tell you one thing. Joey Lucero's going to get his, and you got my word for it.
You get yourself back to the office right now. Turn that thing off, will you?
Okay, Ken, off.
Look, Frank, I'd appreciate if you wouldn't use that piece of film on your newscast.
Come on, Mike, this is good stuff. Angry policemen
Personal favor. Just file it and forget it.
Hey, haven't you ever heard of freedom of the press?
Personal favor.
Okay, this once. But you owe me one.
It's a deal.
Boy 4, investigator reported 261 at 1436 Benson Street. Victim on premises. 3 Charlie 6, 418 at 4818 Irving Street. All units in the area of 5th and Geary. 211 in progress at liquor store at corner. Respond code 2, still there. Repeat, all units in the area of 5th and Geary.
5th and Geary, armed robbery in progress, code 2.
3 Charlie 8, 29453 at 918 possible 21. 3 Adam 6, 1212 O'Farrell on the 531 bomb unit en route. Stand by to evacuate the area.
Where the devil have you been?
Oh, hi, Maury.
Don't give me that hi, Maury. Just answer the question.
I was at Ranselhoff's department store putting in the windows.
All day?
All day.
I tried to reach you on the phone. They scoured the place for you.
What time did you call?
Obviously when you weren't there.
Well, I had to go and get some materials, Maury.
You're supposed to call for materials.
I know, but it was just staples and some push pins, so I went around the corner to a stationery store and I paid for them myself.
Did you get a receipt?
No.
Then it comes out of your pocket. Old man Moonin wants the west windows done in the purple color scheme and the south windows in the beige. Got that?
Yeah, west purple, south beige.
And we have to have it done by Friday noon. You got that Friday noon or it's your neck. You got that?
Got it. And one of these days, you're gonna get it. Pow.
Hey, Marty.
Don't you think you've got enough, Todd?
No, I'm still standing.
That's true, but you're cheating. You're holding on to the bar.
Hey, what are you doing here? I thought you were transferred to, plain clothes.
That's right. But I'm still a cop. Just thought I'd drop in and give the place a little tone.
How you doing, Todd?
Hey, Lieutenant, have a beer.
No, I'm on duty.
Oh, that's all right. We're all cops here.
How you feeling?
Are you checking up on me, Lieutenant?
That's right.
Yeah.
I thought you were way out of line in the courthouse this afternoon.
Yeah, well, I got a little hot.
I can understand that, but that's no excuse. I'm not going to tell the captain what happened today.
Well, that's big of you, Lieutenant.
That's right. I'm bending the regulations a little in your favor. I want you to know that. You got a ride home?
I know how to get home, Mike.
Okay, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Hi. Buy you a beer?
Why would you want to buy me a beer? I don't know you.
I was in court today when they let the Charo loose.
So what? So were a lot of people.
I guess I'm just trying to say I'm sorry.
For what? For me? Sorry for me?
I know how you must have felt.
You don't know nothing.
Okay.
I don't want your beer. I don't want your pity. In fact, I don't want you hanging around here. I mean, you're nothing and you're nobody.
Harris.
Easy. Butt out, man.
I'm not your man. I'm Sergeant Washington. I'm telling you to cool it.
You don't belong here. So what are you hanging around for? You want to live off the blood and sweat of other guys, huh? Maybe you'll get a little excitement? Because you don't have the guts to do it yourself. Or don't you ever feel sorry for me, mister? You haven't got the right. You haven't earned it.
I'm sorry.
Creep. He was in my class at the academy. He washed out.
That's tough.
Don't say it. I don't want to hear it. Straighten up. Square up those shoulders. What do you think you are, loose jelly? You're nothing. You're nobody. And do you know why? Because you haven't got the guts to go out there and do it yourself. What have you done to pay your dues? Good cops are out there getting killed. The killers are getting up in court and walking out free. And you just stand there. Why don't you do something? You're not doing your part. You're just taking up space. Have you got that? Hmm? What do you think life is? Do you think it's a free ride? Well, let me tell you something. You're not man enough to wear this uniform? You know, you're a lot like people, Jack. You just stand around collecting dust, waiting to come to the end of the line and have your ticket punched. Well, I'm a different breed of cat. Did you get that? Huh? I'm another breed of cat. And here is where I get off.
Joey Lucero?
Yeah?
Put your hands up where I can see them.
Wait a minute, what is this?
I said get them up!
You mind telling me what this is all about?
You already know. Officer Al Crane.
Oh, no. Look, I had nothing to do with that. The court, I'm off. They let me go.
You're in a different court now, and the verdict is guilty as charged.
No!
It's all right, folks. Everything is under control. Now, do you live in this building? Good. Will you please go up to your apartment, call the police, tell them there's a 217 in progress at this address. Also, to dispatch a backup unit and to send a coroner's wagon. Thank you. Thank you.
All units, 211, 8545 Gary. A northern car to respond. All units in the vicinity of Kearney and Market, 419 in progress. Repeat, all units in vicinity Kearney and Market, 419 in progress. Juveniles involved. Any unit in vicinity of Bay and 6th, stand by for an accident car.
You think I shot?
Well, everybody knows how you felt about Lucero.
Lucero killed Al Crane. I knew it. You knew it. The witness knew it.
But we couldn't convince the court.
Joey Lucero was guilty as hell.
So you tried him, found him guilty. Did you execute him?
Oh, come on, Steve.
The man was killed at 12:15. Where were you?
At home where they found me, sleeping it off in my bed.
Will your wife testify to that?
No. She left me 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Catherine wants to talk to you.
Is he going to suspend me?
No, I don't think so. He'll probably give you some administrative duties until we can sort this thing out. He's waiting.
Yeah.
Think he did it?
He was pretty drunk.
Well, I've been pretty drunk before. I never went and murdered anybody.
Well, Harris and Al Crane were close friends for over 8 years. That's a pretty big investment. Maybe he wanted Lucero to pay the interest.
Maybe.
The killer was a cop.
Yeah, but every cop takes it personally. Another one gets hit.
Yeah, and one of them might have taken it a little too personally. Homicide, Stone.
Hello, Mike. How are you?
Who is this?
Just a friend. I called to tell you how much I admire your work.
At this time of night?
You're still on the job, aren't you? That's because you're a cop. A good cop, one of the best. But sometimes, even the best can use a little help every now and then, like Joey Lucero. I took care of him. For you. Well, for you and Harris.
Listen, I don't quite understand.
I executed Joey Lucero tonight.
Oh, you did you? Well, tell me, how many times did you stab him?
Come on, Mike. I wouldn't lie to you. I have too much respect for you for that. All right? Listen, I shot him twice in the back. Single jacket, hollow point, 92 grain slugs, one high and to the left, one dead center, correct?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't gotten the report from ballistics yet.
Well, don't worry. It'll check out. Now, look, Mike, I've got to go. You hang in there. You do your best. And just remember, you have help out here now.
No, wait a minute. I haven't had time to call ballistics.
Yeah, Eddie, go. No. All right, thank you very much. Didn't have time to get a trace. What do you say?
He said he was out there to help. He executed Lucero for me.
For you?
For me and Harris. And if he's telling the truth, we got a big problem on our hands because he seemed to be enjoying himself. Let's find out what the lab has.
If everybody calling in after knocking somebody off would be as accurate as your friend, I'd almost be out of a job. Single jacket, hollow point, 92 grain.
Okay, is there any way he could have known about that if he didn't do it himself?
Steve, we didn't even know before that call came through. I hadn't even received the slug for processing.
Well, how does it match with Harris's weapon?
No dice. It didn't match.
Okay. Thanks, Charlie.
Anytime, but before 3 o'clock, okay?
You know, it could be Harris used another gun.
Oh, no way. Have you forgotten? Harris was with the captain when the call came through.
Yeah, why does somebody go around bragging about blowing somebody out for kicks?
Let's talk to the police shrink.
No. I can't even listen to Lenny when I'm awake.
Come on.
All violence is a reaction to frustration. Even the guy who runs a red light and broadsides somebody else, he didn't want to wait. Pass the ketchup, will you? Your masquerading marauder is a more severe example, thank you. His frustrations are deep, long-term, and probably incorrigible. He called you because he wanted your approval, to be accepted in your eyes.
Are you ready to take a stab at the profile?
Well, if he's what I think he is, he's a type which simplifies things. He's what we call a police buff. Interested in law and always has been. Not because of justice per se, but because of the power he senses in those who enforce the laws.
Tell me, do any of them try to become policemen?
Some do. They usually don't make it. Partly because it isn't in them. Partly because it's my job as a psychiatrist to weed them out.
Now, let's talk about my friend. What would make him want to become a killer?
Somebody probably lit his fuse.
Yeah, the witnesses did say he wore a uniform.
Some wear uniforms in the privacy of their own homes. Go to pistol ranges, shoot police specials beside the regular line offices. Hang around bars, diners frequented by police, even go to court. You just got to be part of the system.
Was it possible then this guy could have been in court yesterday when Lucero was released?
Not just possible. Probable.
Now, what's the name of your friend, the photographer, was asking questions yesterday?
Frank Batts.
That's right.
Lenny, I tell you what I want you to do. I want you to go through the records of the Academy and the Personnel Bureau. I want a list of all those who failed the Academy and all those who didn't make it through probation.
What?
Yeah. Take 5 years of the civil service records, too.
You know what you're asking?
Then we'll begin to break it down.
There must be about 300 guys, maybe 4.
Well, the sooner you start, the sooner we'll have our answers. Enjoy your breakfast.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Hold it. The one behind the lawyer and the one next to him.
Well, you look good, Mike. You ever thought about going into showbiz?
No, not lately. I'll take that one. How good will these pictures be?
With the new emulsions, you'll get a better quality than in a regular photograph.
Stop it. Go back a little. That one there. It's a little fuzzy, but I'll take it.
Okay?
That's it? Thank you.
I'll have these stills for you right after lunch, Mike. By the way, now you owe me 2.
Will you take my marker?
No.
Well, we figured as bailiff you might know some of these people, the regulars.
Sure. You'd be surprised how many people come in here every day. Day in, day out. Cheaper than buying a television, I guess. And it's free. That's Harold Bing. He's here all the time. Nice old guy. Bored, I guess. Yeah, some of these faces I know, but not the names. You might try George down in traffic. He really gets some weirdos.
Think of anything, let us know, will you?
Sure.
Thank you.
Pardon me.
Yes?
Isn't there supposed to be a trial in here this afternoon?
There was. A rape case. People versus Williamson. It was thrown out in the first 10 minutes.
On a technicality.
Are you a lawyer?
In a way. Are you Jack Williamson?
I am.
You have been sentenced to death.
What are you talking about?
The young woman.
Come on. Case was thrown out.
On a technicality.
Because I didn't do it. I wasn't even there. I was over in Sausalito in a bar.
Mike Stone.
Hi, Lieutenant. Hope I didn't wake you. This is your friend again. I wanted to be the one to tell you that justice has been rendered to Jack Williamson.
Who?
He was up on rape. The court let him go. So that left it up to me. The sentence was death.
Mike Stone!
Lieutenant, a message from Inspector Keller.
Yeah.
A homicide at 646 Comstock.
Yeah, I just heard. Yeah, I'll be right there.
I opened my door, and there he was.
How tall was he?
I don't know, maybe 5'8", 5'9", I don't know.
Would you mind taking a look at some of these pictures, see if you recognize him?
Hey, I didn't get a good look at him, you know.
He was definitely wearing a uniform.
Oh, yeah. The hat, the buttons, and the gun. Oh, yeah. No, none of these. Hey, I didn't get a good look at him, you know.
Okay, thank you very much.
Why would a policeman want to kill Mr. Williamson?
Wait a minute now.
We don't know whether he's a policeman or not.
I might not be too sure of a lot of things, but one thing I am sure of. I saw a policeman.
No.
No.
No, what you saw was a uniform.
Oh. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing.
Did you hear what she said? That's exactly what people will say until we catch them. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. I can dial direct to New York in 10 seconds. I can call anywhere in the world in a minute. Why does it take that long to trace a call? All right, I'd appreciate it if you would hook me up to that computer.
Well, Mike, there's a call for you on line 3.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that very much. Thank you. Homicide, Stone.
Good morning, Lieutenant. Sleep well, I hope?
Oh, yeah. You were a great help.
Mike, I've been thinking. And it occurs to me there must be a lot of guys that you just burn to get. But you can't? Why don't you just tell me their names, and I'll take it from there.
Go on, keep talking. I'm listening.
Between the two of us, you on the inside and me on the outside, there's a lot that can be done to make this town a better place to live. Think about it.
If I wanted to get in touch with you, I mean, if I wanted to talk to you about somebody, how would I go about doing it?
Don't worry. I'll call you back.
Yeah. Didn't get it.
Doyle, you mind telling me what's going on down here? Our contract calls for completion of those windows at noon tomorrow. You got that? Noon tomorrow.
Sure, Maury.
I'm coming down here tomorrow morning. If I have to bring in additional people to finish your work, the costs are going to come out of your hide. You got that? Your hide.
Yes, sir.
All right, what have you come up with?
Bench saws and a list of 582 names. And I have to go through that list and come up with immediate probables. That'll take at least 2, maybe 3 days. I have to correlate it with the whereabouts of the individuals involved.
Excuse me, Ruggiero's partner just got busted. He's down in booking.
Well, I hope you have enough evidence to convict this one.
And just what do you mean by that?
Because if he's set free, you could have another homicide in your hands.
Maybe. And maybe not.
Give me a beer.
Weren't you in here the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was, kind of loaded. Guess I said some things that were insulting.
That's okay. I understood.
Well, anyway, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. A lot of the things you said were true. I think everybody needs a jolt of the truth now and then. You did me a favor.
Hey, Marty, turn that up, will you?
It was learned today that Johnny Roscoe, the long-sought partner of the now-deceased Joey Lucero, was apprehended earlier this afternoon and charged with complicity in the murder of police officer Alfred D. Crane. Roscoe had been the object of intense investigation and is set for a preliminary hearing tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
Preliminary hearing. My
In
foot.
other news, President Ford is set to...
He'll get off just like Lucero.
A third visit in less than
Same
2
thing.
months.
Yes.
He is again going to the St. Francis Hotel.
Exactly the same thing.
At the same time that a rally is scheduled.
I don't believe it, Doyle. I just don't believe it. What do you do with your time? Will you tell me what?
I'm working, Maury.
Oh, yes. Friday noon. This window's scheduled for completion Friday noon. You got that? It is now 9:45. You haven't even started yet.
I finished the south windows.
I know. I've seen them, and they're purple. Purple. You got that purple, Doyle? P-U-R-P-L-E. Those are supposed to be beige. These windows are supposed to be purple.
Look, we'll talk about it later, all right? I'll be back.
Where do you think you're going?
I've got an errand. I'll be back.
Just stop right there. You're not going anywhere.
I'm going someplace.
You walk out of here, you don't come back. You hear me, Doyle? You finish this window, you find yourself another job.
I've got another job.
The defendant will rise.
Now, as to this matter of bail, Mr. Roscoe is not entitled to it as a matter of right, even though charged with a capital offense. But the court finds no reason to deny it based on the evidence produced. Bail is set at $55,000. Trial will begin in Department 1, February 5th, 9 a.m. Bailiff, please take charge of the defendant.
Good job, yeah. Thank you very much. Now, 1 day in jail, babe.
You will until your bail is posted.
Boys, nothing to say, Riley. Nothing to say.
They get pictures of everybody?
Everybody.
You spot anything? Nothing you can put your finger on. If he was there, I think we missed him. This is Stone. Everybody keep your eyes open. The bait is in the trap.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little nap now. Why don't you give me a call if I got any visitors?
Tanner, anything?
No, nothing.
You just keep your eyes open for a man in a police uniform.
Right.
Steve.
Yo, everything's just fine up here.
Just checking. What time have you got?
Well, the big hand's on 1, little hand's on 5.
4 years of college and you can't tell time, huh? Wise guy.
time. A little nervous there, aren't you?
Just trying to be a little cautious.
Well, then you won't be wanting dessert, I guess.
Well, I'm not going to be that cautious.
Enjoy it.
Thank you, sir.
El Cortez Hotel.
Good afternoon. Do you have a Mr. Roscoe registered there? Mr. John Roscoe?
Yes, sir. Room 504. I'll connect you.
That won't be necessary.
I tried to connect him, but he hung up.
All right, everybody keep alert. Remember, the last 2 times out, he didn't miss. Attention, all units. Rooftop reports a guy in police blues just entered the side entrance. This is it. Okay, remember we need an overt act. I don't want him for impersonating.
Mike, he's in the elevator.
This is Stone. What's happening?
This is Harris. It's empty.
Todd, take the fire escape.
Must have gotten off somewhere between the lobby and the 6th floor. Block off the stairs. And the fire escapes? My bet is he's still in that hotel.
You lost your bet, Mike. Now give me your gun. Very gently. Now don't make any quick moves. Put that thing down. Hands on the wheel. Now drive out nice and easy.
All right, let's go. Come on. Get on the radio. Tell him he's holding a hostage.
are we going?
I'll let you know.
Mike locked the transmit button down on his walkie-talkie.
I don't see him.
He'll tell us which way.
All units in the vicinity of Market and Geary. Tan, four-door sedan, 1975 Ford. This vehicle contains suspect wanted in shooting. Has hostage. Approach with caution. Last seen going west on Geary. Approach with caution.
Tan, four-door sedan, 2 occupants now heading south on Franklin. Turn right at the next corner.
On Franklin?
You heard me, turn right.
You're at the corner of Geary and Franklin, turning north on Franklin.
Tan, four-door sedan, just turned right on Fulton, heading east on Fulton. Tan, four-door sedan, heading east on Fulton. Turn left at the next corner.
Is that California Street? Take a left.
Left on California, that's going west.
He's going west, and he's got the chase going east. I'll get it on the regular.
No, don't use the radio. He's listening on the radio in Mike's car.
Nobody there. Every cop in town is going east on Fulton.
And we're going west on California.
Why? We had a good thing going, Mike. We could have solved a lot of problems.
That's no solution. It's murder.
It's justice. An eye for an eye, Mike. That's justice. The courts are so busy with the law, they haven't time for justice.
They take their time to look at a case with a cool, objective eye, and then they decide the guilt or the innocence.
Lucero was guilty, and you know it.
I wasn't talking about Lucero. I was talking about Williamson.
He raped and strangled that girl.
No.
Yes.
He was nowhere near Golden Gate Park that night. He was over in Sausalito in a bar. There were 10 witnesses.
You're a liar. He was released on a technicality.
The technicality being that he was innocent.
Then why did we arrest him if he was innocent?
Because he matched the description, didn't have an alibi. Took the Sausalito police a few days to verify the story.
Is that true?
Well, call dispatch if you don't believe me.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. We all make mistakes. I don't think there's one of us on the force that hasn't. You made a mistake, Mike. I tried to help you. You set me up. Let's hope the next guy that takes your place will appreciate me.
You know, you've come a long way for a guy whose only interest was justice. You murdered a criminal in cold blood, killed an innocent man, and now you're planning to kill a cop. I want to ask you, do you really think that's justice? As far as I'm concerned, it's just plain killing.
Turn left at the next corner. Follow that road into the park. Off the road over there.
Just tell me where you want me to stop.
All right, Mike, get out.
Here we go.
Hold it! Don't shoot!
Just hold it right there, will you?
You wouldn't shoot me. Look out, he's got my gun.
All right, Tanner, cuff him.
No, let me do that. It's a good thing you're interested in justice. Because you're going to get a good look at it. Close up.
list. Finally narrowed it down to 3 men.
What list?
Your friend, the guy who killed Lucero?
Up all night working on it, huh?
Gentlemen, I have been without sleep for 36 hours. Here are the results. James Duckett is 5, Larry O'Brien, impossible, and Eric Doyle. Now, the character profile I drew up fits him to a T. Eric Doyle is a hot prospect for your friend. If I were you, I'd look him up.
Eric Doyle. We're on our way. Come on, let's go.
You gotta tell him.
Look, you heard the man, Eric Doyle. He's a hot prospect.
Hey, fellas, do you mind if I ride along?
No, Lenny, you go home. Get a good night's sleep, and then we'll talk about Eric Doyle after you've had some rest, okay?
Okay, Mike.
You're not gonna tell him?
Tell him? Don't worry, I'll tell him. But it's safer to tell him after he's had a good night's sleep.